Web pages often contain elements that are common to several pages or indeed the whole site. For example, in the Pacific Highway case study, if I scroll down to the bottom of the page here, there's the footer. And if I look at this page, it's exactly the same and exactly the same in fefa.html. When you need to make a change to such elements, rather than updating every page individually, it's more convenient to make the change in one place. And one solution is to use what Dreamweaver calls a library item. When you update the library item, all pages that use it are automatically updated. I'm going to go back to index.html. I'm going to click inside the footer and then select the footer in the tag selector at the bottom of the document window. Then to convert this into a library item, go to the Modify menu, Library, and Add Object to Library. Dreamweaver is placed in other documents because the style sheet information is not copied with it. So what this means is that a library item is purely and simply the HTML. It doesn't copy the style sheet. That's no problem. Click OK. And Dreamweaver has opened the Assets panel and it's created the library item. Currently it's called Untitled. We need to give it a new name, so call it Footer and then press Enter or Return. And Dreamweaver says, do you want to update the links in the following files? And the file that is listed here is library footer.lbi. That's the library item. You do need to update those links, so click Update, and there is the library item created, and it's been called Footer. This yellow background behind the footer now indicates that it is a library item, and if you try to change anything in Design View, you can't. You have to change it in the library item itself. However, you do need to be careful. If you open Split View and deselect the footer, you can see it's all in yellow here, but you can in fact edit it in Code View. And if you edit it in Code View, it won't affect the library item, it will simply affect this current page. So I don't want that changed, so I'm going to press Ctrl Z on Windows, Command Z on a Mac to undo that change. So to add the library item to other pages, change to that page, click inside the footer, select the footer, and then press Delete. Then without moving the insertion point anywhere, select Footer in the Assets panel and just click Insert. And if we scroll down, there is our footer in the correct position. And we can do the same with fefa.html. Select Footer in the tag selector, delete, don't move the insertion point. Then in the Assets panel with footer selected, click Insert at the bottom left of the panel. And if you look in the tag selector, now instead of footer it's got mm:lib item. In other words, it's telling you that this is a library item and it cannot be edited directly within Design View. So let's see how you can edit a library item. With the library item selected, just click Open in the Property Inspector and it opens the library item, and you can see that it's just the HTML. There is no CSS there. That doesn't matter. All you're interested in is changing the HTML content and updating the other pages. So let's make a simple change by changing the order of social media and related information. I'm going to select the section there, footer links, and cut it to my clipboard. And then I'm going to select this one and press my left arrow key once to move into the correct position and then paste. So all I've done is I've just changed the order in which they appear. And it says in the tab at the top it's footer.lbi, that's the library item. It's got an asterisk, which means it's not been saved. So if I now go File, Save, I get this Update Library Items dialog box. And it asks me if I want to update the library items in these files. Yes, I do want to, so I just click Update. It gives me this message to saying that it's been done. If you want to, you can select this Show Log checkbox and it will tell you exactly what has happened. It took exactly no time at all to update those files. Just click Close And if I go back to index.html, go into design view and scroll down to the bottom, let's move the assets panel out of the way, and you can see that related information has now been moved to the second column, and it's happened also in this page and in this page. And if you look in the Files panel, you'll see that there is a new folder called Library, and in there is footer.lbi. There is your library item. And that's why Dreamweaver asks if you want to update the links when you first create the library item. It's because it's in a special folder of its own, so the links need to be recreated. What if you decide you no longer want an element to be a library item? Just click it in Design View to select it, and in the Property Inspector, detach from original. You get this message. It will no longer be possible to automatically update it. That's no problem. Just click OK, and it's no longer a library item. One final thing that you need to know about library items is, let's just select that library item. There is this button, Recreate. This is useful if you inherit a site that uses library items, but the library items are missing from the library folder. So all you need to do is to select the library item, click Recreate, and it creates a new copy of the library item in the library folder. So basically that's all there is to know about Dreamweaver library items. To create a library item, select the element that you want, then go to the Modify menu, Library, and Add Object to Library. A library item contains only the HTML, but when you update a library item, it updates all the pages that contain the same library item, so you need to make the change only in one place. And although library items are not editable in Design View, you must be careful because they can be altered in Code View.